Imagine dancing until your feet bleed, your bones fracture, and your heart literally stops. But you just can't stop. This wasn't a festival. This wasn't a dream. This was Strasbourg, July 1518, and it was one of the strangest mass events in recorded human history. Her name was Frau Trophäa. On an ordinary summer day, she stepped out onto a narrow cobblestone street and began to dance. No music, no reason anyone could understand, just movement, frantic, relentless, and deeply unsettling. She husband watched, her neighbors watched, and after a week, she was still dancing. She had barely slept, she had barely eaten, and somehow she kept going. Within days, it wasn't just Frau Trophäa. A dozen people were dancing in the streets, then 30, then 50. By August, the number had swelled to nearly 400 people, all seized by this unstoppable urge to move. People danced until their feet bled raw. They danced through the night. Some suffered heart attacks. Some collapsed from strokes. Contemporary accounts suggest that at the height of the outbreak, people were dying at a rate of several per day, not from a disease you could see, but from sheer, relentless exhaustion. City officials, doctors, and nobles asked physicians for help. The doctors claimed the cause was hot blood, meaning the body and mind were overheated. Their solution was simple: more dancing. So the city hired musicians, cleared buildings, and even built a wooden stage in the town square. Professional dancers were also brought in to join them. But instead of helping, this only made the situation worse. Historians and scientists have debated this for centuries. A few leading theories have emerged. The first, ergot poisoning. A fungus that grows on rye grain can cause convulsions and hallucinations. Strasbourg had suffered a terrible harvest year, and people were eating poor quality grain. Some believe ergot-laced bread triggered the spasms. But the most widely accepted modern theory is mass psychogenic illness, what we used to call mass hysteria. Strasbourg in 1518 was a city under enormous stress. Famine, disease, poverty, religious fear. People genuinely believed that saints could curse the living with unstoppable dancing as divine punishment. The terror was real, and in conditions of extreme social stress, the human mind can produce very real physical symptoms, spreading from person to person like a social contagion. The body, overwhelmed by fear and exhaustion, began to act out what the mind could no longer contain. Eventually, the city changed course. They banned music. They removed the dancers from public spaces and sent them to a mountain shrine to pray for forgiveness from Saint Vitus, the patron saint associated with dancing and convulsions. Away from the crowds, removed from the cycle of contagion and spectacle, the dancing slowly ceased. By September 1518, it was over. The streets of Strasbourg were quiet again.
The dancing plague of 1518 is a reminder of something deeply human, the way fear, stress, and collective belief can take on physical form. It wasn't madness, it wasn't theater, it was real suffering, produced by real minds pushed past their limits. And perhaps most unsettling of all, it has happened before Strasbourg, and in different forms, it has happened since. Because we haven't changed as much as we like to think. We are still, in many ways, dancing to music only we can hear.